pressure on your work related issues? Um, I make this question because in yesterday's activity with Jeremy, I noticed that sometimes we are like too pressured and too much thinking into all the things that we have to do, and that it's always better when you can do things with all your attention and with an effort, full attention to that. So I think I feel a lot of pressure, and it's something that I would like to reduce looking into the future. Um, this thing of like having a project and trying to bootstrap it, um, and like having to be accountable to a community, and everything that we're doing, it's just I think I should take it more as a joyful process and not so much as a painful process. But I think I should make a better management of my own emotions so that this doesn't affect me. And I feel that it has affected me in the past. So I am learning. Bianca, um, how are you? Do you feel pressure? I also know that besides working, you also study. So how do you manage that?
Thank you, Juan. I think that's a very interesting question. I do feel pressure. Um, yeah, sometimes the pressure is from inside. I feel like most of the time it's from inside. But these last couple months, I'm feeling depression from outside. In other DAOs that I contribute to. And actually, it's worse when depression comes from outside, and when it's inside, I feel that my anxiety gets worse when I feel pressure coming from others, because then I feel that like the work that I'm doing, it's not being seen, and then I need to do more to be recognized, and then my anxiety just get worse. Um, and yeah, I feel pressure because I'm doing so many things, and I see people doing so much, and makes me feel that I always need to do more and more and push harder in myself. But yeah, I thank God every day that I do therapy every week so I can come back to myself and be like, you need to take care of yourself because nobody else is doing it for you. So yeah, that's a very interesting question. And I'll pass it to Anna.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel pressure, but I often manage my emotion. I'm working hard on this, and I still haven't gotten where I intended. But I go to the spa weekly to relax completely. I don't know. I would recommend to anyone to do that. Yeah, I will pass it to Durgadas.
If I feel like that, then I just stop working, really. Um, I can't keep saying yes to stuff. I said yes to a lot of stuff, and I guess it was like a capacity test for myself. But you know, at the end, I have to recognize that, you know, this is a kind of ego identity for myself, and if I get too attached to the work that I'm doing, then then the stress just ratchets up and up and up, and it's multiplied if I compare myself. So yeah, I mean, I just don't want to. I just don't really want to go there. Um, I have said yes to a lot of things, but no, I'm trying to say no to things, and so yeah, I mean, you have to do that on your own time, I guess. And that's also the reason why the virtuous cycles were created. To try to help with that. To so you could do but not get caught. And just plan in time for yourself. You know. So yeah, I'm not saying I'm perfect at it. I'm just saying that I found in my life that if I'm working too much, it means I'm running away from something else. Also, I'm diving into my work as a avoidance mechanism. So it's better to turn and face that stuff than to run towards something that's just going to make you more stressed out because you're not handling the actual emotions from the stuff you should be dealing with. So that's part of the reason why I was so happy about the space from the exercise yesterday, because I was like, oh, perfect. That's what I need exactly. So anyway, that's my thoughts off the top of my head. I'm not sure who's gone.
Innovator and Irene, we are talking about do you feel pressure in your work, or
Yeah.
what other things do you feel pressured by? Sorry.
No, sure. So I actually feel your pressure, Juan. That kind of, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm extremely empathetic, but I do feel your pressure, and it kind of, I feel that we collectively in Gravity can do more. It's difficult because we're doing other things. I mean, obviously, Bianca is, and I think many of the other people here are as well. So I feel your pressure. What I normally do when I'm feeling pressure is to think about, well, I mean, Einstein's the famous quote is, if you want to get different results, you need to do different things. And that means we need to innovate. We need to think about what we're doing and see if we can find different ways to do those things. And I know, I mean, in my career, I've spent a lot of time, many years doing that. So I may not have the answer immediately, but I kind of think there's a way to look at the situation with fresh eyes. In particular, I think, well, there's a couple of things. I'm actually, while we've been on, I've been creating a post in the forum, because I think it would be nice for people to be able to take the strain away from you in this particular meeting and have people run through those topics and see where we are without you having to feel that you have to lead the meeting. So that's kind of one perspective. And one of the things that I do think we need to do is we need to recruit. We need to get more people coming to Gravity, not to say, yeah, we're interested in your services, can you provide services? We need people who can resource those services. So more people like Bianca, more people like Dirk Das, more people like Jeremy, more people like Lee. We need more people like that. because at the moment I think there isn't quite enough support for you, and that's kind of I mean I feel that as a pressure, because I think there are things that we can do, and I'd like us to be doing some things, whether it's the things that I think of, it could be things other people think of. It would be wonderful for other people to make suggestions and say, okay, look, why don't we do this, or why don't we do this? But I think that's important for us where we are at the moment, because there's a lot of things that we're trying to do, and I think we need more people who can come and provide support. And I always we talk about leadership in Gravity, but I always equate support with leadership. You know, if we talk about the servant leader model, which I'm a huge fan of, then actually we need to employ that and be supportive of one another, because that's in my mind, it's a very clear form of leadership, and mutual support. You know, in the working group Gravity, as it is currently, is something that I think we're quite good at when it becomes apparent, but I wonder if it could be more intentional, so that we have a plan to say, how can I support whoever? And in this instance, I think it would be great if people said, how can we support Juan? I think that would be really helpful, because leadership is, you know, it's a responsibility, and it's something that, you know, I'm very grateful for that you've taken that on, but it's a responsibility which can be tough. So, you know, we should be looking to support you as much as possible in that. So maybe a bit more than you were thinking I might say, but actually I'd been thinking about this anyway, and I know Irene mentioned it a couple of meetings ago. You weren't available on that day, but you know, we talked about continuity. How can we provide continuity, you know, if you're unwell, or if you're tired, or you know, if you know, heaven forbid, but you know, if you get chronic fatigue, or you know, something of the sort, because you know, I know how much you're trying to do, and it's tough if you're not getting people supporting you. That's my I'd say 2 cents, but I can't really say that digitally, can I?
Thank you. No, that's your to die.
My 2 die.
Yeah, because we're in crypto. Thank you. It made me think of a lot of things. I will make a reflection once Irene and Ben share. The question that we are covering today is, do you feel pressure in your work? And some of the things that we are sharing is that some of us feel pressure, but also that pressure, it's heavier when the area of surface is smaller. So how can we make the area of the surface bigger, so that the pressure gets and the weight gets better distributed? And I was just thinking also on this eco-cycle planning, and that I think that we are maybe in this rigidity trap between maturity and creative destruction. So I think it's very important what we were mentioning about we are finishing this first proposal, and we are looking for a second proposal. So what things do we want to do differently? The roles that we have right now are not fixed roles, and let's collectively think of a way of how to make a structure that improves and iterates from what we have, to meet the needs that we will have in the future and that we're having in the present. So yeah, I like this discussion of like new roles and new structures, All of this is something that we can think autonomously, and is something that will have an impact in our inner or organization, but also in the way that we relate to other organizations and to other DAOs. So yeah, I just opened the space for Vince and Irene.
I do, and I'm kind of like just I want to find a way to kind of help here, and help relieve some of that pressure from you, Wonka, definitely. I'm also at the same time trying to figure out how to balance kind of like just energy, everything. So I'm trying to be mindful of like not taking too much on and then not following through. And trying to find like that balance, especially right now as well. I'm also like trying to pick up some hours to in my kind of other work, just to cover financial stuff and also to buy the dip a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I feel pressure, and I like I definitely am someone who will overwork, and so I'm trying to like pull back on that and balance like my want to support all these efforts and like also mind my own mental health. So yeah, that's it for me. Thanks.
Irene, you're the last one, and I remember you mentioned yesterday that slow dojo mode is like your pleasant state. So yeah, I would like to hear how do you handle that?
Okay. Yes, what I was thinking is that my work is intimately related to my mental health. And so that's why I became a trauma therapist, because I am in the knowledge, in the deep knowledge of it. And so my pressure comes when I can see different topics that I want to study to serve better my clients, and I don't have the mental capacity, because it can hold as much as it can hold. It's like it is a wide variety of topics, so it feels like a lot of pressure. For instance, right now I'm trying to research in certain aspects of the freeze response, and and several people asked me to give them classes about it, because they say, this topic and we want to learn from you. So I feel pressure when people ask me these challenges. I'm not used to that. So right now I have 3 classes that I have been asked for, and I'm developing them. And also a client needs for me to research more about the changes in the brain of the Web3, because it's deeply related to troublesome addiction. And it's the same pathways and cycles that it has with it. So, and it can be useful for gravity, but I don't, yeah, so I'm also researching some sensory topics for another client. So I am everywhere, and that's pressure. And I'm at the moment, as my intimate process is related to my work, I am working things that are really difficult. So I feel challenged in my everyday. So I would like to take a week or something, but I'm still working and I'm still there and I still regulating and present and be compassionate and loving and so I feel the pressure of the inner things that I'm working right now. I started to work them when I joined the DAO. The DAO is a strategy too. It's also a purpose. I want to work here, but it's a strategy to work some deep things myself. So I'm going along. So yeah, that's pressure. And I have pressure from my incapabilities about executive functioning that I have had all my life, but I try to do things that everyone does, and that's pressure. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I get a lot from everyone, and I hope that this intro question also is giving a lot to you. The other day, I think last week, we draw this card that is, I take care of my inner child, cuido de mi niño interior. And I think it's a message that we can even keep in mind this week, because if we are not finding joy on the things that we're doing, we are just being pushed. And I think that a way to release from pressure is by playing more. And I think that inner motivation is something really important, and that we shouldn't compare to others or find our motivation outside. Let's not compare with anyone else. We all have different workloads and working methodologies, and if it's not being pleasant, if we are not finding joy in the things that we're doing, we are not being free, and we are not having a choice. So I think it's really important to make a choice, to understand when to say no, when some of the things that we are doing are not related to our inner motivation, or and when we are not finding joy in the things, it's better to say no than to charge ourselves more and to do more and more and more and end up feeling exhausted and not being true to ourselves. So I think it was a beautiful moment to have this question, and it's a good ramp for the topics of the agenda. You know that we are designing and brainstorming on our second proposal. I think Septi was here and he didn't answer the question, but you can think about it, Septi, and is about, do you feel pressure
Yeah,
by your work?
actually, I feel like I'm pretty good at saying no, and so I don't, I don't feel pressure at all. Like I kinda yeah, would organize myself, and it's very easy to me to say no to things. And then yeah, that's how I think I remove pressure. Even if I sometimes I feel I'm doing a lot, but it's also because I want to do it. So I don't know. I feel great, and I think it's very important to say no when you don't want to do something.
Perfect. Okay. Okay. Um, so I see this eco cycle planning, and this is a liberating structure. So I think that maybe I will talk with Jeremy to see if we can have one session to make this eco cycle planning here in Gravity. And yeah, I feel that we are right now in this area where we are having this rigidity trap, and we need to have some creative destruction to to grow and to have more incubation and birth and maturity. I really agree with what innovators said, that we need also to recruit more people and to have more leadership and a better leadership structure to do everything that we're doing. So I invite all of you to think in this moment on okay, we have this beautiful opportunity in the second proposal of doing some things differently than the way that we have been doing them. So how can we delegate more? How can we have better and more leaderships? How can we have a group that coordinates? What role are we missing? What roles are being held by one person and can be split in two, or what roles are being done by two persons and can be done in one? Like, I, since the beginning, even if I am leading this project, I don't see myself here doing the same things in a lot of years. Maybe I can continue participating, but more like in a DAO way, like voting and like making decisions through the tokens and thinking on the strategy of how can we have more organizations and stuff like that. But I think that the growing of the project needs to have like a more decentralized approach, and I have been a very centralizing force of this. So maybe it would be also good to think in this new proposal, maybe of having more checks and balances. And I am really willing to step down a little bit in the in of the project, so that there's more flow of energy coming from other parts. So yeah, we are facing this rigidity trap, and we've been working in this second proposal. It's a really basic brainstorm, but all of you can add your ideas here, make your comments. What we are thinking is to make two proposals, because that would make it easier for conviction voting to pass. And we are working on this on Fridays. So I think there's not a meeting here programmed, but on Fridays, Septi, Bianca, and I are meeting on to work on this. So all of you are invited. I will add the call to this calendar, that it's the Gravity calendar, so that all of you can join if you want to, and focus on this second proposal, where we will be thinking and restructuring our work. Okay. Other of the things that I wanted to talk about is that in yesterday's call we were said to update some descriptions in the calls. So this is something that can be easily done, like to add here notes and agenda, and it's something that we don't have in some of our calls, like, well, the coordination, like the psychology. Where's the psychology call? I am not seeing it here.
It's just
Okay,
above
this-
communitas.
Yeah.
And I think the coordination call yesterday at least didn't have. Like, did you add it today?
Yeah, I added today.
Okay.
And add the psychology called research. I will just add it right now. Bianca, can you send me the links just to have them handy and add them here?
Yeah, we changed the name too. I will send it to you.
Please. Other of the topics that I wanted to cover is that I haven't sent some of the videos of the Graviton training to Septimus, so I will be sending them after this call. I owe you 3 videos. I will be sending you 2 because there's one that I need to edit. There's a part that we need to cut. I haven't done that, but there are 2 videos that I will be sending you for uploading.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, the other thing is that the Aragon payment was approved, and we are going to receive 5K from them. But right now, as that season funding ended, we are now in this new scenario of having to make a second proposal. It's good because we are learning a lot from the first experience, but also it adds some pressure because if we want to improve some of the things that we didn't have really well for the first season, we need to do it fast because we need to have some of those learnings applied for this second proposal. For example, a very good detail of what are our services and how do they relate to the execution and to achievement of goals. So yeah, I know Durgada sent me a really good document some weeks ago of like a description of services. So yeah, it's something that we need to work on. If someone wants to take that and start working on this documentation, it would be really awesome. And
Yeah, I've already we've already started that to some degree, and I have a framework for it. But I don't know, where that went, or I feel like to speak about the thing from earlier too, just to say, I didn't realize the degree to which the Aragon thing was going on, so I felt like it was happening in some space that I was completely unaware of, and so I didn't have the ability to contribute to it in any significant way. So I was I felt a bit useless after the fact.
okay, I am going to say something also, and is that the calls that they were having were really early for America. It was at 4 a.m. for me, so it would be like at 1 a.m. for you, Durgadas.
Oh, yeah, I see what you
I
mean.
think, yeah,
That's the problem. That's why. Okay, that explains it. Thanks.
But actually, yesterday they shared a Let Us Meet to find a better time for this call. So I will be sending this let us meet in the chat of this call, so that all of you can add their availability, and so that we can find a better time for this call. Okay, and the Friday call, I am just going to. So here we have like Pierre, Chidi, and Juan. It would be really good if you can include your availability here. The other call that I was going to. Brainstorming session. Oh, it's already added in the calendar, right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
just put it there.
Here we have it. Proposal brainstorming session. Perfect. And
I don't know if you did I put the link so everybody have it. I don't know if you want to make the link like private just for us.
No, that Google Docs always save all edits, so I am pro having everything open. Perfect. Durgadas, I don't know if you want to take some minutes before we end this call to talk about a little bit on the page where we are now, what are the things that we need to do, and to invite all us to come to this Friday meeting, because I know that we are going to be moving.
Yeah. So we're going to break the Friday meeting into two parts. One is to finish off any brainstorming, and then the second part is to start the process of paring down and putting into phases the stuff that we've made, and grouping the who's and the what's, and choosing the final version of the unique value proposition. All of that stuff is all going to take place on Friday. So between now and then, I'd appreciate it if you guys could put any more who's or what's that goes in there. Again, I'd just like to just point out that the work that Bianca and Anna are doing, for example, that's an entire who, right? So I'd like to have space for that. So if you can think that there's like a dashboard for a particular kind of person that needs to exist, that qualifies as a who. It would also be nice if you're saying, I want a certain thing to be on the dashboard, for that particular group or any group that's already listed. That would be under a what, and then we'll be. So I'm encouraging you guys to go have a look at that. Before Friday, we will finish off any brainstorming, and then we'll do all of the grouping and everything, and then the following week we'll do a similar setup, as well as start doing content mapping, so where we match the stuff on the left with the stuff along the top, and then from that moment, then everything becomes technical, and I can so if we have people who know WordPress or that sort of thing, then the website call will turn into just how to get the thing going. I think our target time was mid-August, right? So that'll give us the rest of that time to sort of handle that. But the fact is if it doesn't go into the who what spreadsheet right now, it doesn't go into the website at all at any point. Okay, so so there is. So we'll have version 2 of the website. We'll go through a similar process, but the cutoff thing is it needs to be in that spreadsheet. Between now and probably next week, if it's going to be included on any part of the website at all. So just please put that in, and then I think a lot of the things that we've been wanting to do is like, okay, how do we group them, and how do we phase them out, and everything that everybody's wanting to do for some time. That's all going to start halfway through the meeting this week. So thank you.
Perfect. Well,
also, Wonka, it would be good to handle the services bit as a part of that, right? So so that needs to be a part of the discussion between. Maybe we can handle that next week, because if we're going to have services, we need to have them on the web page and easily findable by our the people and so on. And it's also true we should come up with some kind of pricing matrix as well behind all of that. So again, just to reiterate, there's the front end, which is what everyone's going to see, but then there's also this back end user interface that we need to concern with. And so anything that you're thinking about, anywho, or anybody that needs any part of the front end or any part of the back end, that's also a who or a what. So thank you.
Yeah, I really also echo on the services and pricing matrix. Really, really cool. And all of you are invited to all of these calls. If you want to contribute on the website design, please. And also if you want to contribute on the second proposal, please do. We are focusing on this, on how to not make like one people spreading, having too much pressure, but to spreading that load better in the group. So I don't have an answer right now. It's something that it's like we are still figuring out. So all of your ideas are very welcome. Right now we have been having like some roles, like the coordination manager, the operation manager, the treasury manager, but maybe we need some roles, and we have like the role of the active graviton. But I think that the role of the active graviton needs to be needs to have more essence, and needs to be a little bit reshaped also as a way of an ambassador, and maybe as someone who is like our point of contact in other communities, and also someone who can who can help on the coordination, and who can help on the mediation of cases. Maybe as Innovator said also, I've been taking too much of the mediations, and it's been a struggle since the beginning to have more mediators inside the group. Yeah, Durgadas, you were raising your hand.
Yeah, I just want to keep in mind that just because we're spooling up out of the token engineering commons doesn't make us any less of a commons. In fact, so it's our responsibility as people, as Gravitons and people participating in the Gravity DAO, to wear some portion of the commons thing. So I almost think that we should find some kind of structural way to say, if you're participating in this, what aspect of, not only are you interested in, like Bianca is definitely interested in the psychology research and everything, but she's at every call, and she, there's many sort of, and that's her sort of methodology for participating in the commons. There may be other people that want to use other kinds of work styles for participating in the commons, but I do believe that participatory democracy in the form of the commons requires active participation in some kind of way. So I feel like this should be an expectation from everybody. If you're a Graviton, what can you do for us? What have you done for us lately? There should be some expectation there that everybody, because many hands makes for light work, right? So so we should be really thinking about that.
Perfect. Maybe it would be good to have like a session thinking also about Ostrom's principles, and how can we apply that in Gravity, having clear boundaries. How are we also monitoring ourselves? How are we having capacity to participate? And yeah, I think that the commons framework, it's like a fractal framework, and if we can iterate on that framework, then we will be able to better relate with other organizations. So yeah, just to have you thinking about all these questions, and maybe in another moment we can share some of our ideas. But yeah, let's distribute this better. Maybe if there should be like a steward group of Gravity, I don't know, that would be really cool. Maybe I have been like the coordination lead, and the coordination has several aspects. and it would be better to have like a coordination group with several responsibilities, or a stewards group. I don't know. It's all of you. I I didn't understand what you wrote, Bianca. Can you explain a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So I was saying, like, as we are getting demands and stuff that like we need to do and we need to get done, like at the time or like over time, that we don't need to like be asking people to do, but like we can just go in like a check box or something like that and just say like, oh, this needs to get done, so I can just go there and do it.
Well, we have several tools. I think that we could make issues here in the trust creation board in DWork, and that means that we will have some task to be taken by people, and like anyone can take them, or that we can make a soft commitment with the people, like before making the issue, and then make the issue and give it here. But yeah, we are a DAO, and let's work better in a decentralized way. So anyone who wants to have more permissions in this board, just ask for them, and we can work on that, so that you can create an issue here. I don't know if people who is only in guests can create issues, or only admins can create issues.
But
Only admins.
Yeah, it's okay.
isn't the deal work, we had a problem where like a lot of people, even from outside Gravity, was asking for the rules and stuff.
That's why I say that we should have like a soft commit of the person before giving them the role, or the yeah, assigning them the issue.
And also another thing that I was thinking, that we could maybe do in the session of the proposal is think about like, okay, so we have these rules, so let's write about what does this rule do, like the coordination manager, like what do you do? Because sometimes we're doing a lot of things and we have no idea like where is the line of the things that I should be doing.
I made some role descriptions, but maybe they are not so easy accessible. But like coordination manager, like here, there's this. Oh, remember that even when we were starting to do this, we made a survey and we allowed people to apply for that role. So maybe for the second proposal, we can do something similar. Here's like the Graviton coordination manager, and like assess the skills available in the working group, provide easy access, make a thread, support on DWork, organize the working group activities in 3 months, book club, safe spaces. So it would be good to rethink all of this. I also like the idea of having a stewards. Maybe when we have a group, we tackle this of like having all the pressure in just one focalized point, and even we made this form to allow people to apply to those roles, to do it in a really decentralized way. So maybe we can think about something like this. So first we would need to make like an idea of a structure without naming anyone in a role, and then we can allow people to propose themselves into each of the roles that we have, and then we can have like some decision mechanism to make the group. I think that would be the most decentralized way.
I think one of the ideas that I had about the creating the role thing would be that that hopefully on the new website we'll be able to just look at who's available, who's been in what role, who can accomplish certain tasks. So maybe there can be something inside of the dashboard for the person to say, here's the different things I'm interested in. So one person might come in, they only want to do mediation, let's say, or they only want to do a book club, or do you just see what I'm saying? So, they might have, other skills like marketing, communication skills like I have or whatever. So we could maybe have some kind of a thing that we can say, what are the different things that I can do? What are the things that I want to do? And then within the roles, how do those things sort of shake out? So it's also true that I do feel like, there could be more of a team sort of setup, right? So for example, Juan, if I was in your situation, we're gonna head into Aragon. I would want you to say, what are the supports that I need if I'm going to be the point person on this, right? Same thing with Bianca. I would hope that she'd say, what are the supports that I need? And when do I need them? What's the plan for this? So we're going to have this Aragon call now. Can these two other people meet with me because they're my support people to debrief from what happened during the Aragon thing, and just kind of help in that way, so you're not feeling like you're carrying the entire load by yourself. And so I would like you to avail yourself of that structure as well as everyone else coming in the future, Wanka.
Totally agree. I mean, one of the things that happened that was really bad with the Aragon guys was that I lost my plane to come to Colombia, and I had to fly the next day. And that next day was the first session of a training that I had to do for them, and the training happened while I was in the plane, and I couldn't find like someone to cover for me. So
Well, there was a bunch of discussion about that time, and so I showed up, and so, but I think it was led by a couple of people from,
the Aragon community,
from the Aragon community already, right? So,
they got mad because of that, because they said that that was our responsibility. We have already moved from that, but it's good to have like not one thing going into one people, but that we can have like two people working together, and that if someone breaks the leg, then you have someone clearly that you can ask for support. So I like this idea of like making, maybe right now that we are thinking of new structures, it would be good to have like I don't know if it's a body, but maybe like a support structure, or like if we are going to offer services to one community, that within our demands we request that it's not only one person but two people that we will be having included in the most basic proposal. So it's like, and this
well,
is
I'd want to have a minimum of 3,
Yeah,
if you're
that's
talking
perfect.
about me, so.
It would be really good. Like Jeremy said this, and I totally agree that it's better when we have groups, and not only people doing something, and that way we can all feel supported. So let's continue with this idea in the further calls. Am I leaving something behind? Do you want to say something? Please open your mic. I am not here an authoritarian. This is a decentralized group.
Yeah, I just wanna check with you all about the psychology research. So we are doing a partnership with my university, and the platform that we're gonna use to collect the data and apply the survey. Because we're doing a partnership, part of the name in the link, it's gonna be in Portuguese, and we are gonna explain in the description that it's gonna be a partnership with University of Brasilia, and we're gonna create a domain in name of Gravity. I can share my screen so you can see how it's gonna look like. So it's gonna look kind of like this, like gravity.trabalhovivo.net, and it's gonna kind of look like this. And then we wanna check with you all if you agree with that before we do it.
So just to be clear, we're going to make a functional distinction between the survey needs of researchers and people in the university and our general survey needs, which might be covered in other ways with tools that would connect, for example, back to HubSpot versus whatever it is that they're doing. So this is a really good example of what we're doing can be done in two different ways for two different kinds of groups, depending on what our who's are. So I'll make different technical decisions on the back of partnership with a university than I would for the overall DAO that would want things to integrate with HubSpot, right? So this is an interesting and practical way in which the work that we're doing on that will work. So I guess there's also, so we'll be basically hosting that. It's going to be in Portuguese, so that's a little bit odd to me. That's that right there, just to say it's going to be in Portuguese, doesn't make any sense to me at all. I'm just not sure how in the world anyone's going to take that survey if they don't understand what's written on the page. But
The page is gonna be in English. The entire page.
oh, I see. Oh, okay,
It's
I got
just
you.
the name here that's gonna be in
Oh, right.
Portuguese.
Got it. That makes sense. So yeah, basically what I was proposing was that we say that we're doing a partnership with the university, and that way people can understand kind of what they're getting into in terms of this is for what this is going to be used for, that it's distinctly a research project and not, something that's necessarily used in another way, right? So I just wanted to make sure people understood with informed consent that was happening, and that's it.
Perfect. Okay, we are in the top of the hour. I think it was a great call today. I really liked it. And I am like giving you the agency and the power to decide how do you want to continue working in the future. Like with all this of like thinking about new roles, new structures, new proposals, a service matrix, and like pricing lists. All of this is all on your hands, and I want you to feel that this project is yours. It's not mine, it's yours, it's from all of us. And just to finish the call, I will let Irene to choose a card, and we will go with that message for today.
Okay, thank you, Juanca. And I want to say I'm really excited for this new phase. And the second proposal comes with new air into Gravity.
Thank you.
So I choose card number 4 from your, I don't know if it's your right or left.
This is my right.
But it's okay, from your left, the 4th card. It's like standing out. Yeah, that one.
It says, I accept, everything is perfect. Acepto, todo es perfecto. Everything is perfect. So, yeah, thank you for coming today, and hope to see you during the rest of the week and in our following calls. See you later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Juan.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Thanks, Juan. See you soon.